Hello people, Sarah here, welcome back to a different sort of video. Say tier list video, which I haven't done before. So yeah, gotta do a couple of these. I've done 3 Let's Plays now. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna actually rate the characters in tiers that I used for Last Promise. I'm gonna do one for Justin's Pride and also for Dark Lord and Maiden Light. So yeah, I can see there's 6 tiers. The top one is a god. That means that those characters are like just unbeatable or invincible. Great is kind of pretty much similar to god, but um, if those characters have died, then I will put them in great. Decent is kind of like not really amazing or not really bad, but slightly better than meh. Um, Meh is basically better than bad, but not as good as decent. And yeah, bad is where the worst characters would be, and Benji's kind of like the not rating tier. So yeah, I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna do it in the orders when they appear in the game. So start off with Siegfried and go all the way to I think is Rachel. So yeah, Siegfried. Um, I would probably put Siegfried in the meh column because you get him from the start, but obviously he dies in like chapter 24 and end of chapter 24, is it? Um, and yeah, Siegfried I actually kind of like as a unit. I mean, he starts off pretty weak, but he's still pretty strong early on. And his gloves are pretty good as well. Also, I didn't really show the gloves in the Let's Play itself. But I went back and checked, and Siegfried does actually have really good gloves. So yeah, Siegfried, I was gonna put get me words out. Gonna put Siegfried in the um. I'll put him in decent for the time being. I might change over a couple of things when we get going. Sean. I had to. I might be harsh, but I'm gonna put Sean in bad column. Um, reason being is that I didn't really get like the right kind of levels I wanted out of him. I mean, Sean could be really good when actually properly trained, but his growths are not the best. I think he actually has the worst growth of the of the main lords. Even worse with his stats. Funnily enough. Um, yeah, Sean just he's terrible. I didn't really use him as much when I found out that he wasn't getting good levels. Yeah, Sean in the back column or bad tier. Corbin next. I probably gave up on Corbin a bit too soon, I feel. In the last fight. Like I think early on he was actually one of the better characters. But when he came back I looked at his stats and I thought actually I don't I don't really like this. And it's a shame because I think I probably gave up on him a bit too soon. I probably should have used him for a chapter or two to see if he's going to get some good levels, but I did give up a bit early on him. Yeah, Corbin, I'm probably going to put in the meh column. I mean, I think I did eventually bench him, but when I did use him for the first chapters or so in Siegfried mode, then he was all right. To be honest, I probably could have used him, but I decided not, and I kind of regret that now. I think he could have been amazing. Like actually, in actual fact, his growth is very balanced, and he actually has a really good HP. Like he's basically corporate. No, he's basically Sean but better. um, but yeah, I'd probably just give up on Corbin a bit too soon. Tamiko, Tamiko's not really a fighter. This is a hard one. I want to put Tamiko in the meh column because she does a job as a staff bot, and for me, she's always one of the first characters that I promote anyway when I play through the game itself. Um, I mean, really, Tamiko's only rival in terms of like her usage is actually Emma. But Emma joins much later and stuff, and I think in the end, I think Emma is better in combat compared to Tamiko. Um, I don't know. I think I'll put Tamiko in the Meko. I mean, her stats aren't the best. I mean, if I was I was going to say this. If I'm able to, I would like both Tamiko's growth just a bit to make her like. I'll probably give her more speed or something, or more skill, more res. Because really, if you do use her for combat, then don't expect much. She's not really a combat unit. Um, Shooter. Um, I used him and I eventually benched. I think I put him in a bad column. Um, but I feel like I probably gave up a bit too soon. I think the reason why I gave up on him was that I probably didn't promote him at level 20. I got promoted at 19, and once I promoted him and looked at his stats compared to some of my other characters, I thought this is actually not a good shooter. Obviously, shooter is really strong and fast. It's kind of what he's about. Doesn't really much else. His defensive stats are non-existent, to be honest. I think he has like 25% in defensive res. His luck is alright, I think. Um, yeah, shooter. I probably put in the bad column. I might be harsh on that, to be honest. But yeah, the shooter's just not good. If I carried on using it, and maybe I'll put him in the meh column, but I think overall, I think it goes into the bad. Not good version there. Inanna, kind of interesting. I eventually benched because the reason why was that I did always promote her. I don't know. I'm probably in somewhere decent for Inanna. Because obviously, if you find the Lethal Whip on chapter 4, I think is it chapter 4? No, chapter 3. Yeah, chapter 3. Then and if you're going on using her for early game, then you can only promote her, and that'll be really useful to have like a Falconite um user in Anna. I'm probably going to put in on a decent card. If I didn't early promote her and I just carried on, if I just used her as normal, then she could have been great. I'm going to put her in decent for now. Kevin. For much of my Let's Play, he was one of the best characters. He had so much defense, had a lot of HP, hit hard as well. But yeah, when maps got really bigger, he just kind of died left and right. To be honest, I think he died 3 times. I think, or twice or 3 times. So I think I might put him in a decent, but I don't know. Yeah, kind of hard. I might just put him in great. To be honest, I mean, he's so good for most of the game anyway that yes, he does kind of fall off at the end if you see how I played the game, then yeah, I was kind of to be fair, I was sort of this bit disappointed because I wanted to like kind of make a great unit out of Kevin, but it never happened. So yeah, I'm gonna put Kevin in. I'll put him in the great column because he did fall off hard at the end, but I'm still gonna put him in great column anyway because he just has so much use. I feel. Thanks to his AI defense, and not much was able to hurt him early on. Or well, for most of the game. I think once he got up to like chapter 24, then he kind of did fall off half at the end. So yeah, that's Kevin. Arthur, the mage or the monk, benched. Reason why is that he has the same issue with Storm. I'll talk about it in a second. That you get him for like a couple of chances and he leaves and doesn't rejoin for like 10 or so chapters. And that's really the reason why I don't really use him. Yeah, I just I just don't really like Arthur. I mean, he does have very interesting growths. Like he has a fuck ton of HP, a lot of res, um, decent strength. Um, to be fair, he's basically Kevin, but as a mage. um, like just swap out his defense for res. Yeah, I still bench Arthur. I don't really like him. A Storm, I want to like Storm, but at the same time I can't because he has the same issue as Arthur. He leaves and doesn't join again for 10 chapters, and it's a shame because I think if he was like if he didn't have that issue, then he would have been a great character to use. But yeah, it's just it's kind of hard to use Storm. Um, like his start is not great, and his usage is terrible. Um, I think he is better than Arthur because he's the only nomad, not including Haas, that you can use. I probably would say he's the best bow user, but at the same time, there's Zack as well. So I don't really know. I'll put him in the bad column. Even though I kind of like storming away. Yeah. Uh, Alvarez or Alvarez, the only thief. Um, Probably the meh, because I did use him, and then he kind of fell off hard. Um, I mean, I like the fact he has his own crit boost. So, yeah, I kind of like Alvarez. He's got he's got the right stats for a thief. Stun speed, pretty strong as well. I think I remember. But yeah, when I promoted him, I think his stats a bit basically the same with Shooter, but at least for me, I should have put him back on him. Because should and Altara as well. I did use a lot for Secret mode, but obviously just didn't use them all the way. Sia, she died. But for most of the game, she was decent. So yeah, if she didn't die, then I probably would put it in great column. But she died obviously, so she's going in a decent column. Not really much else to say about Sia. I think out of the two mages, I probably do slightly prefer Itzuk. But honestly, they're both good as each other's. You know, at one time I did use both Itzuk and Sia, and it was great. Excuse me, in everyone else. Yeah, Sia, she's fast. Very squishy though. Not really the reason why I lost that. I think the reason why I lost it was that I kind of underestimated how strong the enemies were. No, actually no. I think one of the enemies she dies at a long range tournament, didn't she? I think. Yeah, she is decent for me. She was decent in my Let's Play anyway. If she hadn't died, then she probably could be in the great column, but she died. Noah. Even though I did use him for a bit when he briefly joined, I did then venture benched. It's not really much else to say. I mean, he's kind of cool, I guess. You know, I like how he kind of joins, and he's one of your stronger characters when you do get him in a secret mode. Yeah, I'll put him in the bench column. Haas, I kind of wanted to use eventually. I kind of needed a bow user. Like I was going to use Zach, but Zach obviously died. I'll talk about him when we get to him. But yeah, Haas. I mean, he's great when you use him for the 2 chapters left in secret mode. You know, he's so strong. You can pretty much solo the last 2 chapters if you need to. But when he rejoins, along with the others, then he kind of falls off a bit. I'm going to put in a mech on. I mean, he does have very good stats when you use him for those 2 chapters alone, but yeah, because he kind of falls off hard when enemies get really stronger. Alright, the next I'm looking forward to the next two. Next two were probably 2 of my best characters. Anakin, straight to God. You know, for me, probably my favourite Lord, or the most useful. He had such good stats. The only thing he really needed was strength. So once I gave him, I think it was like later in the game when I got a energy ring. Once he had that energy ring, he was just invincible. Thanks to his high luck and thanks to that high luck, he had really good dodge. And although he's not really a fighter, Anakin, he's you know you can still like kind of train him up to be one. Once you get um, once you get some levels under him. And obviously over the V Lords, he does promote the soonest. Mainly being it's kind of um, what's the word, story locked or story based, I think. Yeah, story based. Yeah, Anakin God would be the best character in the game if it wasn't for Ace. Ace, save again, he's going into God. I'm going to put him in first because for me, God Ace was just the best unit. Once I gave AC Energy Ring, same with Anakin, those two just kind of started going everything for me. I think Ace probably could have soloed the last couple of chapters maybe, but I didn't really try that because you can only do so much with a really strong Halberdier. Yeah, Ace's issue early on is just how bad his bases are. Like his growths are actually awesome because I actually got a really good ace. Obviously I did give him a Youth Spirit as well. Yeah, ace just kind of broke the game for me in some ways. So yeah, Ace best character along with Anakin. I think it's kind of between those two. If in terms of like the best character, my voice is dying. It's not a good idea to speak. Eduardo, benched. I don't like him. The reason why is just that I don't really like his character. His growths are kind of odd in a way. I mean, I kind of like characters that have odd growths because you think, why do you have a lot of strength for a cav or something, or a lot of speed for a knight kind of thing. Yeah, Eduardo I didn't use. He went straight to the bench. Karina, I probably could have used, but I benched. Yeah, I don't. Did I use Karina at all? I don't think I did. I think because I wanted to use Ben. So Karina went straight to the bench. Not going to say much else. Kelik, statistically the best unit in the game, but for me on that Let's Play it was Ace, so it was the best unit. Kelik for me though, he kind of disappointed in a way because he didn't really didn't really have good stats. But I think around chapter 25, he crucially got so much better, and I'm gonna put him in God column. I think he should have his own tier really. Should Kelik? It should be like Kelik, God, great, decent, meh, bad, benched. But yeah, for me, in the Let's Play itself, I think Ace was the best character. But I probably could have used either Spear on Kelik to be honest, and just could have like sat back and watched Kelik just kill everything for me. Yeah, Kelik though, he's good, great stats everywhere. Not much else to say. Just a most memorable character in probably Rob Hack history. Ask. Ask. Probably a great column. I did die a few times like Kevin. I was probably my best axe user. So yeah, I'm gonna put in a great column. If Ask had if he had better speed, then he would have been really good. Because obviously, I had a few steel axes in his inventory from for like chapter 27, was it? And he didn't double anything with a steel axe, but he did fall with like other axes with a steel axe. Didn't have the speed to double. Maybe that's just steel axes in general that they're bad and not good. Yeah, not much else to say about Ask. It was good. Great character. Unit even. Itsuk, I benched, but I do like him. Um, even though I think in the end, I think Itsuk would have been around Seer's level, which isn't a decent. So, yeah, I have used Itsuk a few times, and Itsuk is pretty good. Logan benched. I didn't use him. He died as a boss because I don't like him. Because you get Tekken who's much better than Logan. Lirin, I benched, didn't use. Yeah, because I already had Inanna. Well, Avenger benched. Zack. Um, Zack. One of the guys I definitely lost along with Sia. Uh, 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 I'll put in the mech column. I can't. I wanted to use Zack as my main bow user, but archers are archers and archers are bad. Yeah, I'll probably in a mech column. I think he died on. Was it chapter 21? Was it chapter after the Wyvern chapter? Was it? I think it was. Yeah. Um, kind of a shame though, because Zach has really good stats for an archer, but obviously I just didn't really keep him alive. It's kind of my mistake to be honest, not resetting him for him, but obviously archers are shit anyway. So yeah. Tekun. Um, great. Tekken is basically Kelik, except not really Kelik. He's got the edginess to be Kelik, but as a character, not as memorable. But for me, Tekken is worth training. It does. I think it does. Is it level 6? He starts off. I think he does. And he's basically Logan but better, and he's basically Kelik but weaker. um, yeah, my Tekken was really strong. Even though he died like 3 times, which is probably one of the most of anyone, I still didn't like give up on him because that's just me. Made my resets. Yeah, Takun great. Just does his job as a swordmaster. Probably the best swordmaster, not named Kelik, I would think. Um, so yeah, Kelik, not Kelik, Takun, great, worth training. Emma, better than Tomiko, so put her in a decent column. I would probably say she's the best healer, mainly because she is on a horse and Tomiko is on foot. Yeah, Emma was great. And surprisingly tanky as well. I think when she joined, she has like 11 defense and 14 res, which is ridiculous for a troubadour. Like troubadours usually have like 5 defense and 9 res, but Emma is a tank when trained. Um, yeah, Emma decent. Ben, um, he died, didn't he? Wait, did he die? Actually, no, he didn't die, but he died, and I resetted because that's for me. Ben, bad. Just no. I could have used him, but then because I think the reason why I only used him was to get risk. To get risk is really cool sword. Yeah, Ben, bad. Just I probably could have used Karina to be honest, but I didn't, and I kind of regret that now. Luke, merchant. Do you know? I'm gonna put Luke in the great column. That's not very hugely wrong about Luke. I think the only bad thing, and I don't think this is Luke's fault. I think the blame is more on the devs themselves. Is that it doesn't join until chapter 17, which is so late for a merchant. But when he's there, he's a godsend. Putting all your items that he stacks up on the characters themselves into his wagon, not wagon, tent, until he turns to his wagon, which is pretty cool. Um, Yeah, I like Luke Star-wise as well. Like he's he's basically mowing us, but not really mowing us. Yeah, I like Luke. Mark. Uh, Mark, when did he go? Definitely not decent. I mean, if we're not including the people else, then Mark is the first axe user, and I hate that. Like, I really like axes. Axe weapons can be so strong in Fire Rumble, but in Last Promise they're pretty much non-existent. Um, Mark, I'm gonna put in bad column. You know, he is the first axe user that joins. That's not called people up. Then yeah, he's going to back on. He just meh. I feel. I mean, Liquid is better, I think, and Liquid's a people out. Kind of says a lot. Lion, in some ways underrated. I'm gonna put him decent. Um, Probably even though Sack died, I made Lion my main bow user, and Lion he did the job as a bow user. I mean, not necessarily like a bow killer, boss killer, which was kind of a shame because Lion, is the only ranger um, that you get, and he's the only ranger in the game, which makes him even more unique. Yeah, I like Lion. He's he's somewhat alright in a way, but kind of decent in a way. Kind of cool. Rex. Uh, what should I put Rex? I'll put in decent. I mean, I kind of used him as like a second lance user compared to Ace, but obviously Ace was a god. Um, yeah, Rex, it was good. I think Rex could have been great himself if I didn't use Ace. Well, I used Ace. I used Ace. No, I used Ace. God, I can't speak. And yeah, Ace was not Ace. God's sake, Rex. I'm getting names wrong again. Yeah, Rex indecent. Obviously Rex does have much better bases than Ace, thanks to his higher starting level. But growth wise, Ace is actually better than Rex. Um, I mean, not by much. It isn't really by a huge difference. I can't remember by in what stat anyway as well. Yeah. You I was putting in the meh column. I mean, I did use him and he didn't die, which is kind of good. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's kind of good, but he's kind of frail, and he kind of was in a way. Um, I think what I might do at the end of it when I do all the characters, I might actually just rearrange some of these. So yeah, I kind of like saying his name. I kind of put in some pretty bad puns. Yeah, you kind of stayed alive. I just used him as like an extra kind of, I don't know, utility sort of thing, like staffs or just using some tomes, weakening some enemies for other units. I just used him. It was alright. Howard benched to be using. I probably could have done, but I didn't. I used him when he joins at 20 no, chapter 20. If you complete that kind of requirements to actually get him. Like if you spoke to him with Seer in chapter 18, then he'll be alive and join you on 20. And he's kind of good, Howard, but I actually I didn't really use him, so benched. Next is Psy, the Est, but a bad one. I wanted to use, but I didn't. I eventually benched him. And Gary just absolutely blows him out of the water. Psy has actually really good growth, but the issue is that Gary exists. and that's kind of like size issue. Like I like the fact that a lot of the axe users are kind of strong in the way, even though it's not very many. And as I just said, I want to use Sai, but in a way, you just didn't get any good levels. I feel. Even though it does join with a dragon axe, and there are a lot of wyverns on chapter 21, no, chapter 20. But even then, trying to train him is kind of hard because he starts like level 7 or something. Yeah, I just went back on Leopold. I don't know. I put him mech on. I don't think I got him anyway because I got some area. I was putting bench because I know I've got him anyway, so I was putting benched. Levion, he's strong, he's cool, he's badass. Look, his portrait, I'll put decent. Probably the best paladin, I would say, because his bases are just so good. I mean, a lot of the people have such good bases anyway, that you can kind of like use them and it won't be much an issue. Yeah, Le'Veon decent. I kind of used him because I needed some extra kind of use of the party. Liquid, didn't use. I think I benched him. I was going to benched. There's not much to say about him. Risk. I want to get Risk because of his sword, but I don't really use Risk. I think Risk actually kind of keeps Tekken honest in terms of stats for a Swordmaster. Not including Kelik, because Kelik is technically a Swordmaster, isn't he? But obviously out of Tekken and Risk, I think Tekken does edge Risk, but it's not by much. But Risk stats are kind of perfect for a Swordmaster. It's what meh. I mean, he does, I'm putting him meh because his sword is pretty cool. What's it, the Phoenixes? Or Phoenixes? It's a weird name. Can't really pronounce it. Yeah, as you can see, we got 6 cards left. Shadow, I benched. Actually, no, I didn't because I used him instead of Altaras when I found out Altaras wasn't getting good levels. I only use Shadow to like chests and that, but I didn't really use him for much else. It's probably bad. Actually, no, it's probably there. He does his job as a kind of assassin. Oh, let's play itself. Next is Alice. Decent, I guess. Probably the best flyer, I would think. And that's kind of saying a lot because Falconites are not generally that good. But Alice is good. Good stats. Kind of nice joining chapter because there's a time limit on it and you can kind of have Alice rescue Kelik and get Kelik to the throne, kill a boss in that chapter itself. Was it 23 that she joins in? I think it is, yeah. Next is Rana. Didn't use him because I never got him. It's kind of silly me. I probably could have used him if I actually remembered how to recruit him. But I was had to bring Siegfried, and he needs to have Siegfried talk to Rana. So yeah, it was benched. Next is Gary, the final character I did actually use. Gary is a badass. He's great. I love the fact that he joins with really high stats. I mean, technically, I think Gary's the go-to and not Frederick. Frederick is kind of that terrible. I mean, Frederick is more suited to a go-to because I think Frederick has like. Does he have 2 S ranks? Or was it 1? I think it might be 2 actually. Yeah, not Frederick. Gary, great. Last 2, Frederick. He died, So put in bench. Not much else to say. And Rachel, she died, so she's going to benched. So yeah, that's it. That's all characters. So now we're gonna actually rearrange some of these characters in different order. So I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna have right. Those are the top three. You can't really see the cursor because I turned it off in the settings. Great. Let's switch over Tekken and ask. Let's have Liu at the back. I think Liu might be a bit too high. I might change that back to these. I don't know. I want to have him the great call because he's a godsend when he finally get a merchant, and it's not his fault. I'm not going to blame the Liu that he joins on Chapter 17. I'm going to blame Blazer for that. Yeah, the great com is all right now. I'd change that a bit. Decent column. Is there anything I need to change here? Sita died, so she goes at right. Basically, from left to right is basically like stronger to best to worst sort of thing. Secret he also died, but that's just storyline reasons. Nana, Emma, swap them over. Rex, it's kind of decent in a way. Liam ahead. So I don't think it's really much order between these three. None I used. Switch over Rex and Emma. Spot Emma. Switch over to Liam. There we go. That's right. Decent. The Mayor column. So I think I'm going to change here. Not really. Kind of happy. I'll just switch over to Miko. Switch over you. Second end. Let's have Shadow around third. I think that's alright. Let's switch over Haas. Bad's got Sean's got the end because he kind of sucked. Easily the worst Lord I had in Let's Play. Size fine where he is. Switch over Storm and Altares. Storm I really want to use, but obviously, doesn't join back again for many chapters. Yep, I think that's alright for back home. And bench, I don't think I'll change anything here, because these guys I didn't even use, or just died. Yeah, I'm not going to change the back home. So that is it. That's my tier list for Last Promise. I will do Justice and Pride at some point later this week. If you enjoyed watching, thank you very much. If you want to send some feedback on how I can improve these tier list videos, then just drop a comment. Say if it likes music, because obviously I didn't really add music for this one because I wasn't really sure how to kind of work it out, sort of thing. And yeah, enjoy watching, guys. Thank you very much. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.